Hello and welcome to another match of the Settlers for World Championship 2025. This semi-finals game 2 with the Red Roman TCG Slayer in the bottom left side against the Blue Mayan SF 20 in the top right side. Yeah, this is game 2. I've already casted game 1. That was a pretty quick game, short rush distance, and the both of them kind of wanted to be ready at PT. And actually, I think Slayer tried to build up a little larger and then realized, wants to go a little bit bigger, wants to be a little bit more ready for PT, as Jessen usually playing for that a bit more. And then nice little thing, the map looked very similar in terms of mountain. We had like the most offensive barracks right next to the PT wall, and Slayer decided to go into over the axis with some sieves and try to snag a little bit of the gold bars and weapons off of those barracks that were not yet finished, and only the storages in front. I was very excited in game 1. Other than that, it was Trojan against Mayans, Trojans by Jessen and Mayans by Slayer. Now we have the Mayans on Jessen's side, and I think this looks like a beautiful Mayan map. You have a desert. It's not right next door. Actually it is closest it could be. I mean, technically you could have it on this tile as well, but I mean, it's close enough. You have 3 stone fields in front of the mountain. You have a forest that actually, forest river situation looks pretty horrible, but honestly, at least you aren't playing Vikings. The forest towards the mountain, a little bad, but manageable, as you have like this terrain underneath. I'm not quite sure how it's called in English. On that terrain, there are no halfways or ways that are being made by settlers. So yeah, without any paths in the way, forester can always plant trees, and therefore the tree is supposed to be stable, at least in this area. Issue is you have the river here, and you kind of want to keep most of the river, and I have to keep the at least waterworks you kind of need there. To be fair, you have another river there with water over there and water over here. So I think it should be fine. They should be able to have enough space of the river. Like they don't actually need all that river, and so focusing on that forest, and especially this forest a bit more, is probably gonna be the play. We did see a 2 stonecutter start from Slayer here in the beginning. More common is 3 stonecutters, but 2 stonecutters with the them going out the right direction should usually be enough as well, although that dude going to that stone is a little bit unfortunate. 3 stonecutter immediately after the 3rd stonecutter immediately after the first tower, though. Definitely keep the stone income flowing. On the other side, we only saw 2 starting stonecutters as well. This one looks out of place. I assume there was a stone over there as well, because otherwise this stonecutter looks very out of place. The other stonecutters are now coming up as well, and we are seeing first bits of wood coming up, first sawmill. There's not yet we have a second sawmill place, but not yet an iron smelter, which is a little surprising to me. It's usually coming quite early, especially as it needs quite a lot of digging and then takes ages to be built, with only 2 builders going to it, trying to get 9 resources into it, if I'm not mistaken. Two players. Actually, I have Mayans here, I can check myself real quick. It's 10 resources, 3 planks, 7 stone. With only 2 builders, takes forever to be finished. Usually something that's built quite early. Something we can see here right now. In general, I feel like this map can be played in multiple different ways. terms of build-up, I don't think there is like a best way necessarily. I think the most important part will be getting across the mountain, the tower relatively early, maybe even getting rid of this forest so you can tower along it a little bit better. Yeah, this front side won't matter too much. I think probably it's a little smarter to try to expand towards the back side of the mountain more actively. Have like this part of the mountain in your maybe a little bit more in your lands, so that you have a little bit more space in front of your land where you can fight. That soldier is taking a detour here. But yeah, you have stone towards the back, you have stone towards the front, you have forest towards, like, away from the thingy, away from the mountain, you have the desert. I give everything you need for like the civs in pretty good places. Vikings probably would be the one that has the most, or needs the most direction of where to exactly build things, as the space here isn't that much, like at least not initially. You don't have much space. You only get rid of the space via stone to iron, which to be or like get the space with stone to iron, which to be fair is quite possible, but the starting forest is disgusting. These forests won't be reached early. This will be reached early though, so yeah, at least have that starting direction towards this area. And also, like, you'll probably conquer lots more land up here early. The biggest difference. In the mine department, it seems like there's gonna be a normal iron mine, hopefully there. Coal mine there, this tower will conquer that. We have the iron smelter and the toolsmith both being digged and getting their resources brought over. On the other side, similar amounts of mountain have been discovered, although I should mention that there's like a double iron mine over there, what it seems. Yeah, there. That would be kinda here-ish, I think. That Jessen does not yet have uncovered. He wouldn't need actually this tower. Let me check that iron mine on... It's not yet there. But this definitely would work better than a single iron mine. I think the coal mine you can place here will also be slightly better than a normal coal mine. Overall, pretty good starting mine situation. Here we can see that there was some lost prior. I'm not sure if it was stone or planks that went into these buildings a little earlier than what you'd want them to be put into them. 3 sawmills, relatively standard. And yeah, I think now, like, it looks like he's still building a little bit more forest. Yes, a little bit more forest. Yeah, we'll... Okay. Forest is about to finish apparently, and the iron smelter is now coming up. One on the other side, I hope it already... That's what I was talking about. The iron smelter takes ages. Toolsmith already finished, has all the coal, the workers in there, everything. But the iron smelter takes ages to be finished. And therefore was a little delayed here. I think usually people try to get their toolsmith up and running minute 7, minute 8-ish. Now only getting it up and running in minute 9. After the 9-minute mark, I should say. He did also now find this double iron mine. I think he could have placed it a tad bit more over to the top left here. Coal mine is being placed. I think that looks pretty good. You have like the ring below. It means he placed it a little higher than what you'd usually do. And that is exactly the area where you could get some extra coal. Here we see a similar thing. I think the coal mine here is also centered a little bit further left, but not sure about Roman coal mines too much. This iron mine looks a little bit more centered, which I like. That should run slightly better than Jessen's will. We see that more prio here was lost, more buildings having random resources already in them. I think he's struggling with wood right now. I think these are stones currently, mostly going into random buildings. Not 100% sure if we see some wood on this, but oh no, actually stone is on there as well. But yeah, lots of resources just going into some random buildings all over the place. Definitely doesn't look too clean. On the other side, I think Jessen isn't playing with prio. And since he isn't actively playing with prio to predict lots of buildings, only build the ones that he has on prio with resources, he doesn't have any issue. It's like, since he doesn't do it, he doesn't have any issue with putting resources in buildings that aren't supposed to be built yet. But I said that, and I'm looking at it, and we also see few resources already going into what seems to be a medium house and a grain farm. But he wanted to actually build stone cutters more actively in the current moment. Yeah, coal mine now up, iron mine gonna be up. I did not check the toolsmith timing on Alex or Slayer's side, but we already see there were 2 tools being made. That means this toolsmith must have been working for at least a full minute. And yeah, that means like 10 minutes, somewhere in that range. Seems like a pretty good toolsmith timing. Nothing too bad to be seen there. Grain farm towards the northwest, like really far here on the left side of the settlement. A little bit surprised, not really much. I assume his plan is to build in like this area and get this stone early, build heavy industry over here, sacrifice the forest, build more heavy industry over there, or is he gonna build heavy industry down here in between stone fields? This is a vineyard, I'm pretty sure, with I think quite a nice looking place here. I think there should be quite a few I don't know what they're called, the wine plants being planted, being seeded. Yeah, what do we have here? First few grain farms are being built. No thief micro to get the size over the grain farms early. Overall, no thieves on the map. We still see one saboteur by Slayer, but Slayer also didn't yet use his last pickaxe off start, which makes sense. He's trying to micro that to the 5th stone cutter. But yeah, Jessen is now fully going into his 6 grain farms, adding his 3rd sawmill probably soon, I hope so at least. Currently on 5 lumberjacks, one trying to clear the area next to the river, and the others with actual forests. Oh no, never mind, he's on 7, so yeah, I am awaiting the 3rd sawmill eagerly. Oh, I think this is the 3rd sawmill. It's already done digging, so I assume the resource is gonna be brought over there soon enough. Right now it's apparently mostly prioritized on the grain farms. I think the grain farms finished in one go. Actually, no, this one definitely didn't. But after the initial resources that went into it, they did finish in one go. The first 3 or 4 that went into this grain farm. So that's a nice, yeah, 30-minute timing. Very standard. Nothing too early, nothing too late. Yeah. Slayer is going into his has 4 sawmills and is going into the 5th sawmill now. With multiple more grain farms being predict. I think This is a small temple. This is a small temple with a second vineyard over there. And I have zero clue what these two buildings are gonna be. Something. Sawmill about to be finishing. Yeah, I think mines were nicely timed for both players from what I've seen on the side. There were no issues in any delays there. Fifth stone cutter over behind the forest is a little bit surprising to me right now. Because now the stone that the stone cutter produces will be brought through his forest area here. And will increase the amount of paths. I think it's kind of fine considering it's only one stone cutter and the stone will probably run along this path here anyways, which is the path that is built by the lumberjacks. Or kind of this path towards here, so I think it shouldn't be too bad. And another thing is also that this is stone that I assume he won't want to use later. Or wants to use later, but is right now just building one stone cutter there that will be working alone for the rest of time, and the rest of the stone cutters will be down here as he wants to get rid of these and probably build his heavy industry on the bottom side from what I can tell. Maybe I have zero clue. This building size-wise is confusing me a little bit. It's not as long as the small temple, but it's not as thick as an anima ranch, I feel like. Maybe it just is an anima ranch nonetheless. These thingies would actually fit exactly. So probably just 2 anima ranches and only 1 small temple. A mill. That's a sawmill, I think, now that I look at it again. More grain farms. They're currently still mostly pre-digging as he's now going into the 6th sawmill, and with the 6th sawmill I assume he will actually start building grain farms. While on the other side I am expecting to already every grain farm to be done. I say that, but the rest of the grain farms didn't come up too noisily. I think these two should be done in one go. Stone is right next door. Settlers aren't really though. There were no settlers standing in this area, they're coming from here. We'll see if they're finishing in one go. I hope for Jessen that they do, but this one now for sure won't. As that's the last stone now gone. No stone in close vicinity. That one is now done too. Yeah, these will still take quite a bit more time. This has now a stone. Builders are running over. They ran away. Very unfortunate of how these grain farms are finishing. Losing him quite a lot of speed. Especially in the grain production. But yeah, animal ranch is being digged. We see the first few bits of grain already. Produced, and with that I think the animal ranch is a little late. Not too crazy. We already see the butcher. That sawmill is the 4th on the way already. I assume this is a 4th sawmill. I'd be surprised if it was something else. And he seems to be going more actively towards the front stone fields, at least a bit. As mines would have been the thing to go towards these back stone fields early on and have these as your late game backup. Yeah, no more other stones in any other direction, but this area as late game stone really is nice. Issue is a little bit that you're ripping your combat power, but at least these first two and this will be nice to get in the late game. We see Fisher and gold mine and storage, so we're seeing the first bits of gold production here coming up very soon. First mill and first bakery is coming up, so that the grain that he's already producing and is by now overproducing, it's overflowing. And that will be used very nicely and effectively. We now have, by now we have 2 sieves on the map by wait, those are the sieves with the size, I assume. Yes, we have one just dropped there. The one is there, so I assume that's what the sieves are doing. Yeah, first few animal farms did now finish for Slayer, and the rest of them seem to not be following that soon. We only have 2 finished, the 3rd is gonna follow soon, the 4th one presumably isn't too far away from being built either, but the 5th and 6th and 7th have not yet been even digged anywhere, like placed anywhere. He did build 2 early wine, or like is building 2 early vineyards that he is actually finishing up, like right after the first 3 farms, or with the first 3 farms maybe as well. The size for the other ones are being made though, or at least now it's 1 size so far, so it could actually be that it's for the one up there and he doesn't produce more right now. Would be interested to see a small 4 grain farm, 2 vineyard, heavy industry, kill enemy build. I'd be quite eager to see that, but I'm not quite sure if we're gonna see it, considering that I think we have 2 mills and 2 animal ranches pre-placed with... What's this? Is that a medium house? I don't know, I'm always confused about Roman buildings, haven't played them myself. Yeah, okay, grain farms are now coming up to the south of the rest of this production, so he wanted to just finish digging everything here. He didn't feel like there was a nice grain farm spot to be used. Or there weren't any more. So yeah, these are placed down here and are probably gonna be the next priority buildings he wants to finish up. Did he now add like a 7th sawmill maybe? Nope, currently still on 6. Oh, but adding a 3rd vineyard all the way here in the west of his settlement. So we see quite a bit of mana from Slayer here. We see quite a bit of food production, not as early as the mana, but the food production is coming in as well with 7 grain farms. That is the normal amount. I mean, it's relatively common nowadays that people play 7 grain farms with more like a few vineyards, build some mana early. Relatively common. I'm still a little bit surprised to see it, as I feel like most people try to build a little bit smaller in their tournament matches, and this is pretty much the standard build people play in their normal casual games, so just play, you know? And there people like to play bigger, more risky builds, and this is on the bigger side of things for sure. We'll see if he's gonna go up to 8 sawmills, as that is the trending thing in casual games as well. But the 7 I am certain we're gonna see. Yeah, the 6 grain farms did now finish. The last few that finished are also actually now in the grain production, fully working. And yeah, the entire food chain is done. We have the mills, we have the bakeries, we have the butcher, the animal ranch, the grain farms, and the waterworks with the 2 fishes already producing fish for 2 grain farms. Is second toolsmith now coming up as the first heavy industry building that is added, with the 4th sawmill as well. I think it's, yeah, it didn't start working yet, so it's about to be starting working. And yeah, everything did now finish up cleanly in the food economy. does produce food now in plenty of amounts. I think he kind of wants to increase the settlers a little bit more. That's kind of what he builds this large house for, but then can start the heavy industry, which we're seeing. He starts digging down there, and he does add a barracks as well, or at least place the barracks, and is gonna build the storages for sure to store up what's he gonna produce out of these heavy industry buildings. Checking out a few of the red dots I can see on the minimap. Soldiers. Yeah, it's a soldier. I for a second thought it was a red thief. There's a dot down here somewhere. Yeah, they are. They are far out. These soldiers. Here we see a pioneer. Like, for a second I thought the script wasn't working and we see this as a... This is a thief. This must be a true pioneer, as there aren't any thieves out on the map. But what would a pioneer be doing here? I think you should... Actually, if you finish pioneering this... Yeah, I guess it makes sense that you then send your pioneer over there. But yeah, he won't achieve anything in the middle of the forest there, unfortunately. So, Gessen did technically conquer desert to build mana. We'll see if he actually does build mana, or if he just wants to get a solid amount of soldiers at peacetime. I'm pretty sure you should be able to get your like 300 soldiers with how he played so far. Very easily. He doesn't play prior, which is like a little bit of a hindrance, but I think it should still be possible nonetheless. He does build a second toolsmith, which can bring many players into just lead them to failure. Second toolsmith, instead of a weaponsmith, you produce some tools that you don't need that much technically for your soldiers at peacetime at least. Then people usually get baited into a 5th sawmill, and then everything goes downhill overall. We'll see how he handles it himself. Yeah, that's a gold mine. Just built the second iron mine right next to the first iron mine, which on the side it looks pretty bad, but I think it was a relatively normal iron mine. These look slightly bigger than normal ones. They're definitely fine to build, 100% certain. This is more what I'd expect from normal iron mines. Iron situation doesn't look amazing. I think the coal situation so far looks really thin. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 coal mines, I think. 1, 2, 3. Kinda like this is a 4th one that you can build for sure. This is not nice. And this isn't uncovered, this isn't conquered. So right now it's only 4 coal mines, and even if you had these 5th and 6th, 6 coal mines isn't amazing. Isn't really much coming nice over here. This looks like a nice area, but the coal situation here needs to be handled actively. It's not just about greeding for gold, it is also about greeding for coal on this map. Although the gold situation looks quite horrendous as well. We only are at 4 gold mines. I think this is a 5th. And then we have a few more here so far. Getting us up to like 11 or 12-ish with... Yeah, I mean, it's mostly early gold so far that's missing. There's still enough mountain to be uncovered later down the line to have enough gold or available in total. Or gold mines in general. Yeah, Slayer did now finish his entire food production as well. only like finishing up the last few buildings. Yes, this was an animation. I am a little surprised that so far we're only seeing one animal ranch. That is usually the building players are greeting for to have running as early as possible. Right now here we see that he has only built one. Maybe because he built so much mana and he didn't want to delay his bread too much. Do we see a 7th sawmill by now? Yes, we do see a 7th sawmill by now. It seems like it's... Actually, no, it already produced 2 planks, so yeah, 7 sawmills now. No second toolsmith? Is this a small temple in the middle of nowhere? Or it might be a large temple. Still gives me middle of nowhere vibes. And yeah, heavy industry is apparently gonna be in this area, which is what we were expecting. I think for both players, it's the kind of place where at least the first bits of heavy industry are gonna go. For Jessen, he could actually kind of decide to go either way. I think he's going towards his barracks. Defensive barracks at least makes sense in the sense that he is building a second toolsmith. Although I think this is a very nice map to play for Mayans. I guess the mountain is kind of like not that rich in the early parts of it. Does hurt the Mayans a little bit. I think he has enough iron mines for sure right now. Even coal, the coal situation is right now a little bit on the yeah, worse side of things. As like if this heavy industry finishes up, the coal mines right now just aren't enough. Right now they're enough, but that's only right now. And gold mines he also still doesn't have many either. As the gold situation on this map just do be not that nice. His forest is running nicely in the sense that it does not affect the river at all, and he can kind of continue building along the mountain with his heavy industry in that area as well. 3 large houses I already disliked. We yesterday saw in the Lemon vs Jagdtiger game that Lemon lots of times went into a settlers shortage building many large houses, and they just didn't finish up in time. Building a large house and just ignoring it in terms of your settler production. Just building it and then being like, oh, you build a large, like you place a large house and you ignore it until it's finished. And when it's finished, you're like, oh, nice, now I have 60 settlers more, and you build 2 medium houses less than you would usually build. Then it's nice, but you can't really count for it, as large houses just do vary too much in how fast they're actually finishing. They just never finish at the speed you want them to. There's always something happening that delays them even further than what you're expecting, what you're expecting from your settlers to bring the resources, your builders to not run away. It just doesn't happen. So yeah, 3 large houses this early. He did do it fine. Like now he has like a huge amount of settlers ready for all this heavy industry. Only issue I'm seeing right now is the mine situation, as this just won't suffice for now. He will need more mines. He isn't like pre-storing any coal. It's not like his coal mines are full either, but I think they were just a tiny bit ago. Yeah, gold ore he is storing. Iron ore he has plenty of anyways. I say anyways, I mean he has the iron mines. It's 4 iron mines, 1 working a little better than normal, 1 currently... only 3 iron smelters? Oh, there's a 4th one back there. Okay, yeah, 4 iron smelters makes more sense. I think it's not quite the amount you want right now on your 4 weaponsmiths that are finished and 2 toolsmiths. Here again we see the classic issue of you place the iron smelters at the same time as the weaponsmiths, well, we only have 2 builders on them, and they just don't finish. They just take ages. It just is how it is. You can't change that fact. And I'm a little bit surprised. They say he should have enough iron. He has 4 iron mines. I wonder if an iron mine here is scamming him, as iron is not stacking up on any of these iron smelters. Like even the starting one is like only 3 iron. Not that much. He is adding more iron mines, which is understandable, as not just understandable, it's needed. Going up to the 6 iron smelters now. Yeah. Good chunk of heavy industry finishes, 35 minutes. This keeps running. Shouldn't be a bad game from Jessen. Yes. Also still on 4 sawmills. Wanted to check that real quick before leaving. On Slayer side, I AC5 Thieves in the bottom. Are they checking just kind of the... do I see any red dots on the minimap? There's one there, that's just a soldier from earlier. Yeah, the thieves might already be in Jessen settlement or not yet. This one at least is known to us where it is at. Yeah, this is indeed a large temple that's coming up. I like that. I like that he builds it early. A, because you can use some gifts, which can be quite nice, especially as I assume he is on 1 toolsmith. Yes, he is only on 1 toolsmith. So you can cast a couple gifts, get a few pickaxes, get a few hammers, boost your tool income just a tiny bit. And just help out with the smoothness of your play. This vineyard looks amazing, by the way. Yeah, planting all the way over there doesn't seem optimal. And this one is... yeah, in the planting phase right now, so can't judge him. We see barracks over here with a faraway storage that will be only a weapon storage for sure. And this also can currently only store gold in that because these won't. Like the distance of the storage to the barracks for the gold is too long, and gold is the thing that you need 2 times per soldier. So yeah, you want it to get to the barracks really quick. Oh, that's unfortunate. Gold smelter's running full because storages aren't yet quite finished. They're gonna be very shortly, so it's not gonna be an issue for long. Yeah, he isn't too far behind Jessen. I'd say only 3 weaponsmiths. He didn't yet produce any weapons. We have a few weapons already produced, and we have a few more weaponsmiths at 5 right now. Yeah, a little behind in that sense, but it's not much. And considering that he built mana, just producing mana, I'd say he is very close. If like very close to Jessen, if not actually just straight up even. A 4th vineyard as well. Does he have like okay, so we have 2 small temple. No wine storage is what I can see. Yeah, though with the priest now could cast some gifts, but no gifts yet. Towering through the forest, can place 1 more there. Then probably at the end here. Yeah, okay, I was about to say like he crushed it. Ah, he placed the mine first, okay, see. Shortly confused why he crushed it and didn't immediately place the tower. Romans are OP. Like, look at that. I don't think a single other civ, or maybe the Vikings. Vikings have pretty small towers as well, but I can't judge the Vikings too well. But not a single, like Magyans and Trojans, both wouldn't have fit a tower in there. Trojans maybe, but I don't think so. Yeah. It's gonna need to pioneer all the way. Very long distance. It's now 8 thieves from Slayer and 5 from Jessen. Yeah, Jessen is sending his forward right now. Not sure about Slayer's thieves. And Jessen is not yet producing soldiers. I feel like this is kind of a good time to start it. Did have a large house. Yeah, finish up producing. Should build a few small medium houses in between. Then he can go up to a bit more heavy industry. I think the coal situation seems to be bad. Initially only looked at weaponsmiths and gold smelters. Like in this, I was like, oh, we've coal on everything. No coal. One coal. 1 coal. 2 coal. 0 coal. Yeah. Yep, and that is gonna cost some weapons, which is gonna cost him soldiers, you know? Very simple math there. Or logic, I guess. Yeah, on the other side we have plenty of iron bars. And just no ore whatsoever on the iron smelters. Like, there's no coal, there's no iron, there's no nothing. I wanted to check something here. Oh, I wanted to check the iron bars, remember now. Iron bar situation isn't looking amazing either. Okay. This toolsmith seems to be idling. Our dude runs out, and this dude as well, so he just now made him work again. Interesting. I assume the toolsmith was to like, maybe he missed some tool production early on that I missed. His toolsmith wasn't the fastest, that's something I know. Maybe that's the only reason he built a second toolsmith, because I don't think I'm seeing a 5th sawmill being added either. Oh, no. You now have a second one up here. So it is 5 toolsmiths, trying to be a little bit larger. Okay, heavy industry behind the mountain is very surprising to me. I probably would have added it around the barracks more. Because right now it's like, you have the ore, run there, then run the same distance back, to then get all the like long distance there. Usually it just goes here. I mean, I guess it's as similar as bad as going past the barracks. Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. But yeah, coal is looking rough for both players. Iron ore isn't looking rough for Slayer anymore. It was very short for a bit there. But right now it's coal. Like, even the gold smelters are running out of it. Just didn't spam as many coal mines down as even built the one that I was like. This for sure isn't a normal running coal mine. Like, even though it is more like, I think it's 2 coal spots that are overwritten by the sulfur spot here, but I'm very certain that it's overwritten so badly that it's still not running as a normal one. But maybe it does. But yeah, I think... Is it like the mountain expansion he's missing? Also a little bit the pioneering, I feel. The coal situation. Yeah, it's rough. It's rough. So he's building lots of heavy industry that just isn't working. Is producing soldiers, as also Yessen does. Now. Yeah, both players struggling with coal. I feel like this is a good situation to pull your coal on weapons and iron smelters. You don't have gold ore, so why would you prioritize your gold smelters? Like right now we're seeing lots of coal laying around on gold smelters, but they only have like 1 or 2 gold ores. Like they have way more coal than they need for the gold ore they have. Alternative, also I think would be a really valid option, just straight up pausing gold smelters. Nonetheless, you want to get rid of, like, you can also store up some gold as long as you're gonna get the coal later down the line. Then, like, build like a gold smelter or 2 more to finish, like, get rid of the stored up gold ore before peacetime. I think the coal situation overall on this map is also just not improving, actually. Wait, am I? No, pioneering here, it's the same pioneering that I was talking here that wasn't done. But it felt like there were more coal mines in this area. Oh, because he took this. That's the one that I was confused about. That now, I think Yessen built this one, Slayer's building that one. Yeah, Slayer really realizing now the coal situation is just straight up garbage. Here we see some coal. This tower here, once it's done, will be huge, giving him a coal mine there. Maybe this. And pioneer these really close by. I think here we are in a situation where you want to have your coal. You want to have your pioneers not work for this tower, because this tower is taking way too long to pay off. While you could have already had a coal mine here. If you want that, you can take that one, but you can then go to this, to this, to this, to this. And once you're like here, I've gotten all these coal mines, then you maybe go the rest of the distance to actually build the tower. Maybe you get the double iron mine first, a few gold mines first, something like that. But yeah, right now it seems to be that weapons-wise and soldier-wise, Yessen is gonna be ahead by quite a bit. Like right now he could produce 110 tier 3 soldiers, while Slayer has already produced all the tier 3 soldiers he has, and could now only at tier 2 around 30 to the 80 soldiers he has already. To be fair, you have to deduct 19 of the tier 3 counts I just had in mind for both players, as 19 would be the starting tier 1 soldiers. But yeah, Slayer has more mana, and as I said, I feel like both players are very even here in terms of production value for combat, I guess I'd call it. And maybe Slayer's even gonna be slightly ahead, considering that both are in a huge lack of coal and both just are struggling to get their coal. I think Yessen by now has kind of fixed it. The weaponsmiths that he has are running, the 2, 4, 6, 7 weaponsmiths. To be fair, and I think not quite enough iron smelters, but the iron smelters now actually have coal, so the heavy industry is now running again. To be fair, Slayer has fixed it at around the same... No, he did not fix it. He just realized gold does not matter if you don't have gold ore. You can really easily fix the gold issue later down the line, and he has prioritized iron smelters, which is a smart thing to do. Only issue I'm right now seeing is that apparently he just seems to not have as much gold ore as Yessen does either way, and a settler's shortage. Go. We are witnessing a settler's shortage live right now, right here. It isn't hurting too much as gold ore is not yet overflowing on the mines. But once that happens, it's gonna be bad. Okay, settler's shortage, yeah. Probably paused something. Because now it's few settlers standing. Maybe it was just like a really on edge kind of thing. Why not being carried, I assume? No, they are full. Yeah, he just has 5 vineyards on only 3 small... Oops, sorry. On only... actually it's 4 small temples. But they came too late. All the settler shortage was what played the role there. We don't exactly know. Doesn't seem too great, at least. How's the settler situation looking for? Yes, and I think, yeah, he's playing the large houses very similar to how you'd play large houses with Trojans. Like building them so early that they are just gonna finish up. Like they are early enough that you don't have an issue. With Trojans, you usually play only large houses. After, like, you start with a few small houses. Because they're just, like, you need to settle as fast at the beginning. There is no option of building a large house. But later down the line, you go into large houses and only build large houses, no medium houses. Because the medium houses for Trojans are even less efficient than the ones for the other civs. And the large house is even more efficient. I think about that, I think it's like not, like it's the difference there isn't quite that big. But the biggest part is that the space and digger efficiency of the houses is for Trojan, the large houses are just by far the best. Digger efficiency maybe not necessarily, as small houses are quite digger efficient as well, as you usually just can't find anything else than a small than a green building spot for them, and therefore like you just don't really have many diggers. And you don't use many diggers to actually get your small houses being digged. That's pretty nice, but large houses are just really space efficient with 65 settlers, and then you have a medium house only producing 20. You need more than 3 medium houses for one large house, which take up way more space than one large house. Take more digging time. It's not a great option for the Trojans. Other civs, you only need, like with 3 medium houses, you already produce more settlers, and 2 medium houses, at least here with, you can see with the Mayans, depending on the space, you can fit 2 medium houses, but not a large house. That kind of never is the case for Trojans. It can be, but it's very rare, because the Trojan medium house is not really like a nice, it's just a large house but smaller. Anyways, I think Yesen settlement now looks very nice. He has a heavy industry, it is running, it is working. He has a tiny mana industry that he did build. I think the stone income is handled, yes. The wood income is obviously handled with 5 sawmills. I think the logs are... yeah, no, it's fine. Wood income is handled, stone income is handled, his settler income is handled for sure. Large temple is gonna finish in time as well. He pre-made a few blowgunners, which I like, yeah. Yeah, no, I like. I don't think... like 30 blowgunners never hurt, I'd say. Unless you use them terribly, like if you just see, oh, there's a huge bulk of bowmen, I just send them all my blowgunners. Then of course they're gonna hurt you, and it would have been better if they'd be bowmen, but if you at least use them smartly, they are never hurting. We see combat power, I think 119 at peacetime is his goal, and I think he should barely achieve that. I think he is... is he building enough for it? I'm not quite sure. Yeah, no, I think he should be able to reach it. Although, I say build enough for it, like resources used. Slayer is ahead. With that said, I do want to check the weaponsmith count for both players real quick. 5 weaponsmiths, 6 weaponsmiths, and that's about it. I think that is an active decision by realizing that coal just didn't exist for him. He decided to build more vineyards, more small temples. As you can see, like we see vineyards, small temple, small temple, small temple, small temple, small temple. Wow, there's so many small temples down there. Vineyard, 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 vineyard. That's actually weaponsmith lul. So it's 3, 6, 7 weaponsmiths. He could definitely go up to like 8 or 9 and be fine. Yeah. On the other side, we have 2. With these 5, these 7, 8 weaponsmiths. 4 gave. Yeah. Things there has a little bit more production that is helping him. He has more resources used. And settlers by now actually do look fine. Now he's playing 7 sawmills, at least so far. From what I've seen. And I do not see an 8th one being added at some point. Yeah. We are seeing lots of weapons here. No gold ore. Like he has like, only a few gold smelters. Actually a few more than I thought. It's like 8 gold smelters. How many are there here? 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 10, 12 gold smelters. And they seem to be running here and there. They're not the craziest amounts of gold available either. But right now, there's definitely gold lead for Jessen. If we look at the statistic at the bottom here, we can see that we have let me have a look. We have like a 10 tier 3 soldier lead, 20 tier 2, but I feel like if you just... Yeah, and Slayer could only really recruit tier 1, and since he can only recruit tier 1, all the soldiers like Jessen will, I think, now mostly recruit tier 2 for the rest of the time. And with that, I think it looks very fine. Like he will have quite a lot of tier 2 soldiers, tier 3 soldier advantage as well. But yeah, we see over 160 mana already. It's gonna be around 200 mana, if not more at peacetime. Slayer is moving forward though with, Jessen is moving forward though with all of his bowmen. And tier 2 blowgunner is currently staying back. But that might be just that he didn't pull them forward yet, as the barrack recruiting point seems to be set here. Seems to still be set there. More grain farms being added for Jessen now. He did build Orgay. You can add a 5th one to this. Yeah, combat power is there. 116, I say. I mean, the beautification set is there, is what I should have said. So combat power is not yet quite there. Not sure if there's like one beautification still missing. I can only count 10, 11. Ah, there's the 12th one. So the entire beautification set is finished and he is missing 2 percentages for the combat power. He is building more buildings though. Now one thing he should really be avoiding right now is crushing any houses. It kinda sucks to say that considering he has like wood laying around. He does not really have that much stone, because stone statistic at least says that he has less stone than Slayer, but same wood, which is not a great sign. Yeah. Stone doesn't really lay around here. He didn't build a stone mine, so The bread seems to be fine, the meat seems to be fine, fish seems to be fine, coal and iron seem to be fine. Only thing that is an issue is just the amount of gold mines. But he did conquer the mountain very nicely so far, I'd say. He did not take this bad decision of digging all this way and instead just getting your gold mines here. The pioneers, I think, way smarter. Not having this geologized yet is a little rough and unfortunate. It's gold ready. Is moving forward with the rest of the soldiers now as well. He does have a temple. I'm not sure if there's a priest in the army here. Yes, at least is moving forward. 250 soldiers total at peacetime, with 240 of them being tier 3, rest tier 2. Slayer, on the other hand, has only 175 tier 3, but 63 tier 1 soldiers. Not that much, or like not that nice of quality soldiers, to say it that way. Mana, on the other hand, is 216 against 42, which is a huge advantage for Slayer, having around 150 more mana. Yes, is moving forward as he does have the combat power advantage. Kind of. He has only 107 offensive right now, with 118 in total. 119 soon to come. Once that is the case, he would be 2 ticks ahead of Slayer, who currently has only 113. But 113 combat power means that he's gonna have the 114 just in a second, and once he has 114, he will have 107 defensive. And we're seeing beautifications being built. He will have 119 offensive very shortly as well. Once that full set is finished, resources used will be the exact same for both players. Combat power will be the exact same, but resources used, Slayer has an advantage, and since he has an advantage, he will for sure also have the 119. Since now Jessen does have 119, is moving forward more. Let me really quickly check. Is there in... There is no thief. Priest. This is army, no priest. Take these pioneers and take these pioneers and take these pioneers. Now these are taking the pioneers. Huge. Just denying the enemy out of gold on this map, I think, is already worthwhile. Did I just have like a fatal error or something? Oh, let me check something. Huh. I have to really quickly change something in... I can't change it while I'm streaming. Welp. I guess on YouTube will be there was like a cut just a second ago, and now it's Twitch quality. As my recording, the place I'm recording to, is just not recognized by the PC anymore, and therefore recording stopped. Not too important for the cast right now though. We have Jessen going forward, and since he's going into the enemy land, like a rush like this on this map, I dislike if the enemy isn't playing bad. The enemy isn't playing bad here. Like, you just will lose. Even if there wasn't mana on the field, you have enough soldiers. Like, there just needs to find a good combat line, and I think he should win. This I like. But then again, I dislike this then. Like, if you have thieves and steal away the gold ore, which I think is the goal. Issue though, it's already, settlers are already going here, so it can't be picked up. You can only pick up the fish, which kinda denies the enemy out of gold. So still not bad. You deny the tower here at the front, you can deny this tower, you can deny the pioneers, you can even deny this tower. So you can really deny lots of mountain, but instead he wants to push. He wants to get things done. 119 on both player sides. Issue is player will only be using defensive combat power. We have a quality advantage on Jessen's side and a soldier advantage in total as well, but there's a mana advantage on Slayer's side. This bowman line here at the bottom can be very nice for Jessen, but Slayer is building mines, is building like a mine wall, which kind of, makes the line of Jessen significantly worse. He is gonna take a fight in there. Now, taking a fight around the storage wouldn't be that bad. Then you stand in a large house. Rough place to be fighting. And Slayer is taking the right call here. He manages to find the space he never conquered. Having a woman anywhere in this area, really nice. And Jessen doesn't really want to be standing behind the snow here either. Preferably you want to stand so far behind the snow that you pull Slayer into the snow himself. Right now, taking the fight here the way he doesn't seem good to me. On the other hand, the fight over there isn't bad, but it isn't bad for Slayer either. Seems to be that both players are engaging with this combat line now. Are we having any priests around for Slayer? I am not seeing them yet either. We have tier 1 medics behind the line. This left, I think, will be way better for Slayer than for Jessen than for Slayer. A middle, probably quite even right side should be winning for Slayer, although apparently this is now too far back, so the snow is in the way, but we see a convert now with the priest from Slayer clearing up that side, making it a guaranteed victory on that side. Yeah, now there aren't really enough soldiers. He has the soldier advantage, he has medics, he has mana that he used there. On the left, not all the soldiers are pulling in. The blowgunners should, I guess, kind of stay back a little bit because there is a swordsman flank brewing. A priest over there as well, giving some shields. Now we did just see some butterflies. Tiny bit of the combat mana that Jessen has being used. Jessen also still has more soldiers, more soldiers on the field, more quality on the field, and a combat power advantage. Issue though, most soldiers are on the way. What are there so many C's here? Doesn't have a setter shortage, does he? No. Yes, soldiers taking their time, and in the meantime he is outnumbered at the front as rushed instances are just too long on this map to be pulling something off like this. I think any normal Slayer game just doesn't lose to a rush on this map. Like even his large builds have enough soldiers, have enough mana to always defend a rush like this on a map like this. And it's nice that he has thieves here, and he was stealing stuff, but the trade was heavily in favor of Slayer. Slayer still has mana, and yeah, has now more soldiers, same quality. Like, has more soldiers and like not quality soldiers. His medics, he will heal up his army. It's tier 1 medics, they'll take ages, but they will heal it up. This is funny. He doesn't notice it, and will be building gold mines. Where he wanted to have his mine wall. Yeah, well fought by Slayer on their own land. Taking the open field, having the enemy in the mine battery, and a little bit of outside combat power, where he has now 119. using the mana, having the swords flank in the end as well, winning him the fight. Not necessarily yet the game, as he was denied mountain, was denied gold. Denied gold, yeah. In the meantime, while Jessen's economy should be just running smoothly, I assume. Yeah, the stuff here standing is running smoothly. He does have a little bit of a mana eco. Issue now though on Slayer's side, or on Jessen's side, for Jessen specifically is... Okay, Slayer does seem to have a fish issue, so stealing the fish actually kinda nice. Like, it's not just denying these front gold mines of working, but it actually denies the gold mines of working as well. He did now crush them. Not sure if all of them finished, but at least some did. Yeah, just costing him materials. But yeah, what I wanted to say is Slayer's heavy industry is probably working as well. Less gold, but less gold doesn't really matter too much if you have such a mana advantage. We have like a bajillion million vineyards. We have like 1 there, 2 there, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think this is all that we have in this top part. Yes, 7 in the top part, and then we have like 9, and then we have 12, we have 14, 15, 16. I don't think I did count this one. 17, 15, 16. Don't think I counted that one before. It's like 16 vineyards. Could have also counted the small temples, would have done similar thing, but so much mana economy. And I'm pretty sure his heavy industry isn't too far lacking behind. Like, it's the 3, 6, it's 8 weaponsmiths with the 9th one over there. And 9 weaponsmiths isn't too shabby, considering that Jessen did expand by now. So it's I think these were 5 plus these are 7 plus these 10 weaponsmiths. It's not a crazy expansion. Gotta say that. It's not a crazy expansion. He did only add a few grain farms. He must have added more. Surely he did, right? Yeah, all the way back there. Yes, it's 6 grain farms he added. Probably adding exactly the same food eco he had earlier. I'd like to see a little bit more mana added as well. And now like more weaponsmiths. You can go up to like 12 weaponsmiths probably with this. Yeah, Slayer is pathing out of his land, taking position to use his combat power that he has. Resources used. Jessen is now ahead again, which I am a little bit surprised by. But I guess Jessen... Oh no, Slayer was distracted. Slayer's also taking a huge out of the way path to do something with Jessen. Now Slayer is engaging here at the front. There are swordsmen on the side. These swordsmen down here went back or were cleared. Oh, retreating here, just costing more soldiers is... I think he notices that he just doesn't have enough to fight this, which is the correct play to then retreat. Would have been nice if he retreated earlier. Yeah, like looking at the numbers as well, we know that tier 3 Slayer is ahead. This is in the middle of the map. And we have tier 3 swordsmen on both sides. So the bowman fight definitely would have not went in Jessen's favor. They had tier 1 medics behind it. And a tier 2 soldier flank that is brewing. It is also scouted. Yeah, it's scouted by Jessen. Will he now take the fight, or is this just idling? He will now take the fight. Slayer is pulling back a little bit, as I think he doesn't want to take a fight into this little lake there. These swordsmen still staying there. those swordsmen went somewhere. Oh, the medics now feeding. A little unfortunate for Slayer that he forgot to pull those back. Definitely something that Jessen is happy about killing. Yeah, both not having 132. One player now having 132 could do quite a lot in this kind of fight. But yeah, Jessen is outnumbered and has less mana. Now, lots of these soldiers are there, but he's outnumbered in tier 3, in tier 1 and tier 2. And this is all tier 3. This is all tier 3. And it seems to be that Jessen is now taking the fight. And the initial line looks good. We see some lightning. We see more lightning. Now we saw a butterfly in the middle of a huge pack anyways. That butterfly is nice. Oh no, he did remove the were there shields maybe? Because he at least removed shields over there. Now we see blowgunners and swordsmen coming at the north, but like, look at that. The army of Jessen just disappeared. These blowgunners and swordsmen not gonna change a thing. In the meantime, we have the swordsman flank, which Jessen either actually keeps soldiers back just for that, or because he isn't actively pulling them forward. Another shield the medics are carrying is just no way. Like, Jessen would have needed to have a creative way winning against Slayer. Like after the initial lost fight, I mean, winning against Slayer, just going back a bit, just won't happen again. Only way Jessen would have won at this point was just like using the swords he had, pulling them around, you know. Here would have been a pretty good angle to get in, have a relatively straight and short distance to the towers. Yeah, they're mostly full. There's mana. It shouldn't work either, nonetheless. Yeah. Only thing which is still something you can say, resources used, Jessen is ahead. Which means he has more buildings standing. But it's not really, like, there's at this point more heavy industry. But is it really gonna matter? Like, look at that. He teleported swordsman into his bowman at his large tower. The swordsman took so long to die. Because he just doesn't have that much army anymore. Usually you want them to be dead pretty much instantaneously. Jessen isn't really actively building much either anymore, while I think Slayer isn't either, but yeah. I mean, it's classic. It's late game. I wouldn't say it's late game. I think it's technically, I'd say this is probably more like a mid-game state. And I don't know if you want to call peacetime, like before peacetime, like pre-game. You have like early game, you have mid-game, you have late game, and pre-game. That'd be a funny way to phrase it. I think so far I would have always called it early game. Before peacetime and a little bit after peacetime. Early game being really long. In Settlers 4, if you consider everything before peacetime and a bit after as early game. Still a little bit of a bowman clump over there. Where did Slayer just doesn't want to move forward? I mean, saboteurs are allowed now. He could do a little bit of eco damage. And that would mean a slow, certain death for Jessen. Okay, tier 3 swordsmen of Slayer are clearing the ones of Jessen. I have zero clue why there's a geologist by Jessen there. We have vision, actually mostly vision for Jessen in this bottom area, what it seems. And I mean, vision over there was cleared by Slayer not too long ago. There's a Steve over there as well. I think he pulled a soldier. Yeah, a soldier to the right. Wanting to make sure there are no towers in this area. Yeah, a little bit unfortunate that the game is still going on. I don't think it has to. It's very decided at this point. And Slayer just takes it slow. Now, we want to look at the bright side of things. There was a match in... Oh my goodness. This speaks for what I was about to say. There was a match in the Swiss stage, in the initial phase of the tournament, where Slayer and Jessen already played against each other. They played an AGMG game with peacetime 30, and I think Jessen didn't attack at peacetime, but relatively shortly after. Attacked at some point. The attack failed, he lost the fight. And Slayer just relaxed. Slayer built up a bit more army, he didn't instantly go in. He could have won the game at any moment. But then, when he went in, he gave Jessen enough time that Jessen had produced enough soldiers. Jessen initially actually produced normal, same scenario. He produced bowmen, but then at some point Jessen realized that's not gonna work. He made swordsmen, and he had just enough time to make enough swordsmen. He had war machines already ready, and then he went around with swordsmen and a war machine and killed Slayer. What I'm saying, this tower just shows that Slayer doesn't want to lose that exact same way again. This castle shows that as well. Slayer just doesn't want to lose this game. He is in the advantageous position right now, but he knows that Jessen knows how to win games from a behind side, from being behind. With that, I think the game is properly sealed, because I assume that Slayer will play very slowly in the offensive. If you really want to make sure you're winning and are not able to lose, you get pioneers. Pioneer the land here, build a small tower, and tower forward. It would be hilarious to see. And I'd hate it if Jessen wouldn't surrender at that point. Now, Slayer is moving forward. So he feels confident he doesn't die. There's no significant heavy industry expansion by Slayer yet, as it seems. Both have settlers, I just checked. He just has the insane mana production. Well, on the other side, I think the heavy industry expansion stopped by now. I think it's now 12 weaponsmiths. 14 weaponsmiths. Okay, yeah. Well, not too shabby. We will now need a few more grain farms again, I think. Bread situation so far fine. Fish is on the iron mines, so that is fine as well. Yeah, but bread is gonna run out very, very soon. Oh my goodness. They're doing exactly what I said. Now the fact he moved the soldiers forward a bit more then still surprises me. But he's pioneering over the mountain to build a tower. He brings saboteurs to deal damage, He now has the castle. I think he will make his 3 swordsmen enough to always have everything he builds fully occupied. Question is if he's gonna build a small tower or medium tower. I don't think it'll take more than 30 minutes. Is my guess on that. As this is right now a very slow game to finish off. Yes, we're seeing exactly what I was expecting. Jessen is trying to get some sorts around the map to finish it off, going into the back, but yeah. Slayer is playing as slow and steady and very safe by towering forward so that you never have exposed towers at the back, or even though you have exposed towers you can crush them with ease. And by now the only way Jessen would have a chance at winning is if everything would be swords. But then like you can kind of manage to get all the towers that are scattered around here, but you still can't manage to... You wouldn't be able to get this tower because... I say that, but then Slayer moves forward. Like if Slayer never moves forward, I think that would... Is he actively skipping the gold mines? Seems that way. Skipping the gold mines and going straight to coal mines. I mean, he did take a few gold mines over there. I don't think that the coal is an issue at this point anymore. And indeed, gold would be the thing to prioritize. As we see, weapons are available in abundance, and gold bars are not. Oops, I tapped. Yeah, on the other side, Slayer has plenty of gold bars still available, which I'm a little bit surprised that he has managed to fix this. Actually, no, it makes a lot of sense. Jessen went up to Team Weaponsmith. I have to This looks like an amazing wall of houses, technically, to fight with. Practically, you would be fighting with 107 defensive combat power against 132 by now. 2 ticks disadvantage. No way of winning a bowman fight with that. Especially considering that he has less troops, less quality, less mana. There is just nothing. I'm just waiting for the FF. I know that Jessen doesn't want Jessen doesn't want to give up. He has something planned to have a chance at winning the game. At the same time, Slayer has multiple defensive buildings, multiple military buildings that would have needed to be taken. What a game. Like, even if he'd get in there, the swordsman, anywhere, without being seen, the moment he gets into the settlement, he will be seen. And I assume we have a priest. Only one, I think. But I assume we have another priest over here. Not that I see one. I did see one over here, I say that, and then that priest probably went with the army. The army split. Ah, it split up there. Swordsman there. Swordsman there. Jessen is preparing himself for the good old debate. Trying to take a fight here. Distracting Slayer so that he can maybe knife him out in the back. still towering forward. Okay, now Jessen is taking the action. Attacking. Sadly, he's inting a few swordsmen. Usually, like, he wanted to have them on the side, I assume. Now, Slayer takes his army over there while he pulls back here. He doesn't want to fight inside the buildings. Pulls back the saboteurs. And once he has the flank from up there, which he sees he's like walking into nothing right now, he should be able to, yeah, he turns around. Now, right now, Jessen is standing in the houses, so this is, okay, he crushes them. I was about to say it's a terrible engagement. It's still not raid, considering he's in a huge concave. Slayer still, I don't think he needed to pull back there. Swordsman here on the move. I thought those were Jessen swordsmen that were over there, but they apparently got killed by those bowmen of Slayer. And now he just has a huge concave here in the front and unwinnable for Jessen. I don't think Slayer will... Slayer uses mana. Why would you use mana? You can't tell me that you think that you're losing this fight. And you need mana to win it. On the other hand, you could need mana to not die. This is just an amazing combat line. Yeah, I would be more excited about things if this game wasn't, like, decided ages ago. But this is very beautiful to watch. Must say that. It's not like there's gonna be anything else happening on the map. Both players' economies are running fine from the last times I've checked. Be surprised if they aren't now. Swordsmen won't achieve anything. I mean, they aren't even really close to any towers yet. Here we have the most tragic of fights possible. Senate medics here, inting their lives instead of healing. Full circle around on these last few troops. And since he sent his soldiers past the enemy, as you usually do, they aren't even going for the full surround, and instead they just walk past. Now I'm gonna continue pushing, I think, with that, because you know this is an army that just wins. He pulls soldiers back there, and Jessen isn't even gonna try with the swordsman. Not sure if he scouted anything. But yeah, that's it. GG's. And yeah, I mean, it was decided after Jessen went in here, tried to rush on a map that with pretty long rush distance and not having an insane round. We can see now here in the end statistic that technically soldier-wise he was, like, he had more soldiers in the entire game. He had more gold on the field, at least, in the entire game. But the mana was a huge disadvantage, and in the end he took bad fights, trying to fight in enemy land offensively way deep with the defender's advantage than losing. Or again, then losing against the defender's advantage. Actually, I want to check specifically. I'm not just scrolling through. Or hop over to the interview. Mana, food, tools, mining, mana. Yeah, 11 small temples, 18 vineyards. Crazy mana economy. But I will now head to the interview and translate as always.
Jetzt hier von Alex. Wie fühlst du dich, wo du jetzt hier die Pflichtaufgabe bis hierhin erledigt hast?
Ja, das ist jetzt schon mal große Last, die abfällt, so im ganzen Turnierverlauf jetzt.
Ja,
Okay.
jetzt heute
I think it was about how Alex felt.
Als
Not that he actually made it in. Slayer is now happy that he's done his job getting back into the final.
Wie hast du dich da gefühlt und wie hast du dann deinen Matchplan gestaltet? Also hattest du vielleicht andere Pläne und hast dann nochmal wegen der Karte geändert? Ähm, Was war so der Matchplan dann, nachdem du in die Karte reingeladen bist?
Geärgert habe ich mich schon, weil ich mir dachte, okay, also wenn, dann wird es halt vorne an der Achse Stein geben und da sah auf der Vorschau es nach sehr viel Moos
Question is
und
about
wildem Wald aus. Und dann haben wir da
how Slayer
irgendwie
felt
überlegt, da
after
unten ist aber
seeing the
gerade mit
map,
Stein alles voll.
considering that he
Ähm,
picked
ja, ja, gut. Die
Roman
Laufwege war jetzt
against the Marians of
schon
Jessen.
okay, dann soll Stefan hier mit voller
Yeah, he
voller
wasn't
Maya-Schlagkraft ankommen
he
und
wasn't happy
wir sind einfach wirklich zu
when he
PT.
loaded in, seeing
Gut
the stone
dazustehen, auch ein bisschen mehr Mana zu
everywhere.
haben, was dann auch wieder nicht so einfach war auf der Karte, aber irgendwie es dann doch sehr, sehr eben war. Also das habe ich ein bisschen gestruggelt, hier vernünftige
Yeah.
Spots für Weingüter zu finden
And he was
am
still
Anfang.
thinking that even though
Ja, das fand ich dann schon ein
it was
bisschen
a really good
nervig, weil
map
ja der
for
Berg noch nicht
Marians.
so der absolute Brüller war.
Yeah, although the map
Ja,
was really
also
good
ich
for
wurde da
Marians,
schon ein
he did
bisschen gestruggelt so gefühlt.
expect since the rush distance was
Ja, aber
relatively
doch
large
versucht,
that
das
even full Marian power he could be able to
rauszuholen. Hab dann noch
defend,
zwischendurch nochmal
especially
Mana
if he
nachgezogen, weil ich
wanted to
gemerkt habe,
build a
der
bit
Berg
more mana.
gibt irgendwie nicht so wirklich was
But
her.
he said that
Weder
in the
mit Kohle
beginning it
noch
was
Gold.
actually relatively flat and hard to find good spots for vineyards,
Ja,
which
logisch
kind
auch,
of
dass ich dann
played
halt
against his plan.
Defensivspiele an den Kasernen
But yeah, Mountain
deutlich
wasn't good
wahrnehmen
enough,
kann zu PT.
which made him add more mana later
Ja.
down the line.
Ja, bei dir, Stefan, haben wir jetzt gefühlt, glaube ich, ein ziemlich ähnliches Spiel gesehen wie
And yeah,
wie in Spiel 1. Du hast dann jetzt hier quasi auf diesen Push mit 119 kk, die du zum Glück diesmal auch gekriegt hast, gespielt, aber diesmal leider das Pech gehabt, dass du auf einer ja, sehr langläufigen Karte oder zumindest einen sehr langen Weg bis zur gegnerischen Kaserne davor dir hattest. Ähm, Wir hatten überlegt, ob es vielleicht eine Lösung gewesen wäre, dass du einfach auf offener Fläche im gegnerischen Land chillst und auf Sabos wartest, aber du hast dann doch versucht, mit der Brechstange durch die Gebäude durchzukommen.
okay, so yeah,
Hast du
Kristen was
dich
like,
gegen das
Jason
Warten
did
auf
very similar
Sabos
thing to last
entschieden
game,
oder wolltest du einfach versuchen und
and
bist dann von dem ganzen Mana
yeah,
ausgekontert
it was
worden,
like, now it's
ohne
like kind of
da
like
die
question like
Entscheidung, es zum Kampf kommen zu lassen?
how did the decision
Ja, ich habe mir
come
halt gedacht,
to
nachdem Alex
actually
einer der besten
take the fight?
Late-Game-Spieler ist, dass es im Late-Game tendenziell eher schlechter wird.
Um,
Deswegen wollte ich da die Initiative
Okay.
ergreifen.
The reason
Aber
why
im
Jason
Nachhinein
wanted to
war es
actually take
wahrscheinlich
this
eine blöde
initial
Idee.
fight instead of using saboteurs,
Ja,
using
weiß man
the
halt nicht, weil
thieves to
es stimmt
steal,
natürlich, dass wenn
maybe
du zu
building a
lange
war machine,
wartest, dann
is
outscalen
that
der
he
Gegner
was
vielleicht
expecting
halt
Slayer to be the better
trotzdem,
late
auch wenn
game
du direkt
player
die Möglichkeit hast, auf 132 zu
and that
kommen
he
und auf offener Fläche
didn't
zu kämpfen. Aber
didn't
ja,
want
Alex hatte zu dem
to
Zeitpunkt ja
take his
schon
time
so
too much
unglaublich viel
and be
Römermana,
outscaled.
ich weiß nicht, ob du das wusstest. Ich könnte mir fast vorstellen, nein. Aber ja, also ich will nicht sagen, dass das ein Game-Winning-Play gewesen wäre, aber es wäre zumindest
Yeah. King Cat kind of gives the
Option
idea of
gewesen, wie man die
could have
Situation
waited
hinaus
for
weiterspielt.
132, steal a bit
Ja, du hast
more,
ja auch dir ein bisschen Zeit gelassen
kind of
mit dem
increase the
Ausbau, deine weiteren
pressure
Farmen, sodass deine Eco jetzt
a bit
auch nicht ganz den Anschein
differently, I'd
gemacht
say.
hatte, dass du da komfortabel in ein späteres Spiel, längeres Spiel gehen könntest.
Yeah, it's also said
Ja,
that
und
the
ich denke, es wäre schon durchgelaufen und das
farms
ist ja ziemlich
didn't
voll
like
nah
the
am
farm
Herzen
expansion didn't come
gelegen,
that
also
early, so going into a
bisschen
longer
wäre schon
game
gegangen.
wouldn't have been the easiest thing for him either.
Ja.
But yeah, would have probably worked
Hast
out
du
is
dir
what it
über solche
said. So.
Sachen Sorgen gemacht, Alex, dass du dann jetzt im eigenen Land einfach ausblutest oder
The question is if Slayer had
wärst du
any
da confident gewesen,
worries
dass den Gegner bis Minute
about
75 bis Sabos dann endlich
yeah
reinlaufen
being
dürfen?
being
Dass du
slowly
da bis dahin
killed
ihn
by
schon mit
thieves and
ja, kleinen
saboteurs.
Scharmützeln so hart bearbeitet hast, dass das dann kein Problem werden würde?
Ja, also ich habe mich natürlich schon darauf eingestellt, dass ich vielleicht dann, ja, dass ich halt nicht den schönen Kampf direkt kriegen werde, sondern mich irgendwie dann da selber rauskämpfen muss. Aber ja, also ich hätte dann schon
Okay.
probiert, mal da hier einen guten Fight zu
Slayer
kriegen. Falls
was already
Sandys habe ich ja auch im
expecting
Rücken, das ist ja immer so der
that he
Vorteil
had
vom
to
Römer, dass
take
es
a
halt dann
fight on open
sehr,
field
sehr
in his own
unangenehm war,
land
als Gegner
to get
dagegen zu
out of
spielen.
this.
Und deswegen habe ich auch auf viele Sandys gespielt, um eben genau für die Situation dann ja, gerüstet zu sein und dann halt nicht
And so
an den Sabos dann später zugrunde zu gehen.
if he had to fight in his own land, that's
Aber
exactly what he made the medics for,
das
to
ist ja,
with the like
das ist
worst
ja,
combat
oder Stefan
line,
ist geistreich
use the
vom
medics out of the back line.
hat mir ja den Kampf dann doch ein bisschen dankend gegeben. Ich weiß nicht, sonst hätte ich vielleicht noch auf 119 defensiv gespielt. Das wäre so. Das habe ich mir
Yeah,
noch
was
zum
relatively
Kampf,
happy
kurz
that he
vor
got
Kampfbeginn
this
gedacht.
good
Das
opportunity to
passiert
take
nicht, und
the
dann
fight
vielleicht noch schnell
in his own land,
Ziel
which
ist.
in the end was the thing that decided the game.
Defensiv, aber
Otherwise, you would have tried to maybe go for 119 defensive before actually going out, like pushing for that with
Ende des Spiels
beautifications.
hast du es dann auffällend langsam angehen lassen und bist dann langsam rübergetauert auf die andere Seite.
And now the
Mit
question
erst dem großen Turm, dann Pionieren,
about
dann dem
slow
kleinen Turm.
progress of actually
War
winning
so
the
ein
game by
bisschen
Slayer.
der Experience aus der Vorrunde geschuldet gegen Jessen, dass du es auf die qualvolle Methode jetzt machen wolltest gegen ihn? Oder wolltest du noch ein bisschen vor dich hinsiedeln, bis du es dann beendest?
Yeah.
So, die Intention war jetzt nicht, dass es qualvoll wird für Stefan, aber das war mehr so ein Respekt, weil ich halt jetzt nicht wieder überstürzt irgendwie
Okay.
rennen wollte.
So what Kinkert was saying is like
irgendwo,
was mentioning it as a
ein Schwerterpulk ankommt. Also ich habe ja dann auch nochmal
like a little bit of
das Meme, auch die
like
Volleyball
torturing the enemy to
aber vor allem
death.
den großen Turm vorne.
And Slayer was like, he didn't really intend it as that and was
also
more
immer
paying
kurz
respect
den
to
Fallback hab
Jessen,
und selbst wenn da Schwerter hinten reinkommen,
as he knew
passiert
that
halt nichts, muss ich halt im Zweifel kurz die Kasernen wieder
there are plenty of ways to
erobern.
lose a
Wie es jetzt
game.
am Schluss ja auch fast
Losing
gekommen wär.
to swords that are coming in from the back
Der Plan einfach slow and
to
steady, mit
maybe
Samos vorne
lose a
jede
fight in
Kante
the enemy
wegholen.
land if he pushes
Das
into deep,
garantierter
similar
Late
to how he just did.
Das
How
heißt,
Jessen
es ist auch
did,
nicht so,
push to
dass man
deep.
da lange Zeit nur irgendwie unnütze Gebäude wegmacht und er einfach alles irgendwie hinten neu setzen kann. Und
Ja.
ja, da war das für mich so war die sicherste Variante und die am zielführendsten ist.
He just wanted to take the safest way.
Auf jeden Fall.
Wasn't really good
Ja,
saboteur
bevor ich
damage he
dann
could
jetzt
do
hier
in the
auf
front part of the
weitere Spiele
settlement
eingehe,
either.
Frage an Agros, ob er noch hier Fragen hat.
Nope. GG's.
Okay. Ja, dann erstmal zu Stefan. Du wirst dann jetzt hier im Spiel um Platz 3 auf Lemon treffen. Ja, wie confident gehst du da rein?
Now the
Welchen Eindruck hast du
question
von
to
Lemon bisher
Jessen.
im Turnier?
How confident he's going into
wen siehst du
this
als Favorit?
match
Also wenn er so
for
spielt wie gegen Jagdtiger,
place
dann sollte
3
das kein Problem werden.
against Lemon.
Aber mal schauen.
And Jessen put out the bold
Ja,
take.
das
If
glaub ich
Lemon plays
objektiv
how he
nicht,
played against
nicht
Jagdtiger, it
verkehrt,
shouldn't
das
be a
so zu
problem for
sagen.
him.
Ja, also auf jeden Fall
Spicy take, we'll
Lemon
see.
ein etwas unglückliches Halbfinale gespielt.
Lemon
gegen
did not
Jagdtiger,
have the best
aber
semifinal.
natürlich auch mit
It was rather
relativ
rough.
schwierigen Maps zu kämpfen gehabt.
Also
Ja,
not the
gucken,
easiest
wie
maps.
du dann da rauskriegst.
Also generally not
Und ja, bei dir,
the
Alex, steht das Finale
best.
gegen Jagdtiger an. Ich persönlich
yeah, also pretty
hatte
good
vor
enemy.
Beginn des Turniers auf genau diese Finalkonstellation
And now
getippt
to Alex,
und bin
to
jetzt
Slayer.
relativ glücklich, dass
He
es
now
dazu
is gonna
kommt.
play against
Und hier, glaub ich,
Jagdtiger.
einen ziemlichen
The thing that
Banger
everyone
legen können,
like the matchup
der,
everyone expected for the finals
also
to
ich
be,
glaub schon
as long as
etwas
it doesn't happen
challenging
before, so that one player
werden kann.
gets kicked out early.
Wie schätzt du deine Chancen da in dem Finale?
Genau. What
Ja,
does
also
Slayer
ich
say
freue
to
mich
that?
natürlich, dass es auch Jagdtiger jetzt gewonnen ist. Also
He's
auch so
happy
ein
that
bisschen
it
mein Wunsch. Man braucht natürlich
did
immer so das Losglück auch.
that
dass
it
man vorher
actually
schon auch
is
aufeinander trifft,
Jagdtiger now that they didn't meet
ja,
earlier,
dass
that
man halt ausscheidet oder halt Jagdtiger,
the
der war
draw
schon gegen Janik sehr nah
went
dran, rauszufliegen.
that way.
Mhm.
Both made it to the
Ja, ich
finals.
freue mich auf jeden Fall. In unseren normalen Runden ist es halt immer weniger Freude gegen ihn zu
He's
spielen,
happy
aber
to
hier
play it.
im 1 gegen 1 jetzt mal
He's not
volle
like
Dröhnung.
in the normal rounds he's not too happy
hab
to
ich
play
schon
against
Bock.
them. Rather stressful,
Ja.
but now 1v1
Ja, ich freue
to
mich
really
auch schon sehr, weil
show
ich glaub, das
who's the
werden
better player.
sehr ansehnliche Spiele werden. Mit viel Dynamik.
Yes,
rechne ich mit
Kinkert
und,
is
das
excited
auf
to
jeden Fall
see
ein
it.
Fest.
I am excited to see it.
Ja,
And I think with that,
darauf können wir uns
probably
jedenfalls
the
freuen.
end.
Ich weiß gar nicht, wie jetzt hier die Timeline angedacht war, wann jetzt hier
Oh.
ein mögliches Finale gespielt werden kann.
Maybe we
Wir sind
get
ja jetzt hier
an
erstmal
answer
durch
to when they're probably gonna play the
mit den
last games.
Halbfinalspielen und das Spiel um Platz 3 sollte relativ wahrscheinlich vor dem Finale gespielt werden. Falls jetzt irgendjemand gerade spontan Infos drüber hat, wann hier was passieren soll, kann das gerne mir mitteilen oder im Chat schreiben. Ansonsten kann ich wahrscheinlich einfach nur sagen, achtet auf den Discord-Server. Ich denke, da wird es dann jetzt
Okay.
in den nächsten Tagen
As I expected.
ein
It's
Announcement
nothing.
geben, wann jetzt Spiel um Platz 3 und zumindest ein erster Teil des Finals ist ja ein Best of 5.
It's nothing fully
Zu,
set yet.
Ja, 3 Spielen an einem
From
Tag
what
dann
I've
auch.
understood here, it is that way that
wahrscheinlich auch
yeah,
eher
best of
2
5
Tage
will be
liegen
finals. Best
könnte,
of
wo
3, I
das
think,
eben
will be
gespielt wird,
around,
wann das
which
dann
sounds
stattfinden
weird.
kann.
We'll play 3, but
Oder
nonetheless,
stattfinden wird.
it's not nothing perfectly scheduled yet. It
Ja,
is supposed to be a weekend.
soweit
supposed to
wäre
be
ich dann
kinda in
jetzt
a row.
wahrscheinlich fertig für heute. Und ja, bedanke mich hier bei den
And yeah,
Spielern, auch
with
Fabian
that,
und
mute
Fabi.
me here. Now they are just saying bye-bye. I will say bye-bye. Thank you for watching. I will end the stream here. There's no set date for the finals of for the finals or the match for the third place. And with that, just have a look out on the Discord when the match will actually be happening. I'll now say goodbye for the people watching on YouTube later down the line, as the cast is ending here, and you all have a great time.